How are you this week, Leigh? Welcome aboard.
I am good, Maxie. How are you? Feeling better, mate?
Feeling a little bit better. Yeah,
Oh,
I think the flu finally got me this season, and definitely knocked me for six over the weekend. But I'm on the mend, and just in time for our important meeting with Paul on Thursday.
good stuff, good stuff. So good to see you feeling a bit better.
Just a little bit better, yeah.
No one needs it's winter. When you're not a winter person, it's like look, it's catching everybody. It's unseasonably wet here in Queensland. Like we've got I don't know why they call them rain bombs now. They never did before, but they call them a rain bomb now. And we don't normally. August is normally very dry for us, so. It's not. We're not. We're ready for spring, Maxie.
It's
we're
not
ready
often.
for spring.
It's not often I call in sick for work too, so I had to be pretty sick for that to happen. So
You're never sick.
Never sick. But I'm on the mend, and adding on the mend, this week's quote, it's a good one. So we'll start with that.
Off you go then, boss.
Yep. So the quote this week, Leigh, is "Go out on a limb. Isn't that where the fruit is?"
So good. So good. The fruit on the higher branches, not the easiest stuff. The fruit on the higher branches, that's the stuff you want.
That's the stuff you want.
That's where you go. Gotta go.
Sweetness.
Exactly. So great quote. Absolutely. Just so simple and go out on a limb.
Yeah, I love
the only way. Exactly. So, righto then, Maxie, what do we got? Some good news. What do we got this week?
Good news.
Yeah, we've got to have some good news.
Yeah, some good news this week, Leigh. We're catching up. This is obviously recorded before Friday, but we're catching up this week on.
We are. We're very early this week. We're really early this week because there's a bit of stuff going off.
Yeah. So look forward to catching up and then heading down to Wollongong for an important meeting with Paul, who is one of our illustrators.
Yes.
We've been speaking about the last couple of weeks, but. Over the last 6 months or so, we've been doing some rough drafts for book 1 and book 2, second edition.
Yeah.
And once we get the green light after this meeting on Thursday, hopefully in a perfect world, everything can kind of align and we could have maybe at least book 1 or book 2 done by the end of the year. We'll see.
Yes, so we'll see how we go. So we're going to be racing the clock a little bit, and we don't want to, rush it and mess it up. We want to make it right. So good stuff. It'll be me on a plane this week. I am flying into Sydney, so I will be seeing you around the airport. We'll be getting a coffee and then on our way down to see Paul. So that'll be awesome.
Be good.
So tell us, we talked about them last week, those legends, City to Surf. How did they go?
Yes. So on Sunday, the crew from 62, Max, Years and Jenko, and a number of, I think there was over 45 other firefighters did in BA, breathing apparatus and full turnout gear, and they walked the 14-kilometre course of the City to Surf. They did an amazing job. I got up and went down to cheer them on down at Rose Bay when they walked through. It was so great to see them. They were stoked. I got to see, the guys in full kit giving a nudge for the burns unit, for the Westmead Children's burns unit. So
amazing.
They did great.
Didn't they raise over something like $80,000? Which
it was. I think
what an effort.
It was 70,000, and then I think the last little push over the weekend was closer to north of 80. So
amazing.
Yeah, awesome, and that's going to life-saving treatment to look after kids that have been severely burned in New South Wales. So hats off to the crew, and I look forward to hopefully getting involved next year.
Good job, lads. Well done. So that was good, and so we got some other good news. We're talking to some lovely people about coming on the podcast.
Yes,
we're doing one this morning.
Yeah,
a bit later.
The last couple of weeks we've mentioned guests, and we're just kind of keeping a few up our sleeve because if the bub was to come, we'd be able to to release them out over time. But we've got some really good guests and some exciting guests, and I look forward to everyone listening and learning from these guests that we've got. So yeah,
exactly. And I found a nice little story online, Maxie. We like a good news story.
we do.
So this is a shout out to the incredible people in Zambia. Zambia has made education free, which has meant that 2 million extra children have gone to school since 2021. So that just shows you. So Zambia's government initiated free primary and secondary education in 2021. And this policy change has given loads of students the opportunity to attend school. Some girls that weren't had been stopped attending like years ago were given the opportunity to go back, and it's just been like an absolute game changer. The government plans to build over 170 new schools. It aims to recruit 55,000 new teachers by the end of 2026, with 37,000 already hired. So awesome. Well played, Zambia. Free education. 2 million extra children have gone to school since 2021.
That's a really good news. I really like that story.
Yeah, that's a great news story.
Maybe one day we can get over to Zambia with Live Learn Survive.
Just imagine. We should send them some books.
I was just I put a post up on socials today of that reel that you created of day 2 in Tilba, and it was such a great trip, those 3 days, but especially that day in Tilba, being in that remote community of only 11 students. Puts a big smile on my face, and I can imagine if we ever got to Zambia one day, we could do some cool stuff with education.
Can you just imagine? That would be amazing. And then I just thought something else I'd forgot to add on the notes. I just scribbled myself a note earlier. Yesterday, I caught up with one of some people that may know the when we've reflected, and we talk about that very first morning that we took those kids swimming. Well, one of those little kids was Ava, who turned up on my driveway yesterday driving, and is not such a little kid anymore. And Ava is doing a project on swimwear. She's really, really passionate about design and swimwear. And Belle, who knows us back from all those years ago when we went swimming, texted me and said, would you be able to help? Because obviously that's my background before we do this kind of stuff. So I had the loveliest day with Ava, given her some fabrics. We've got a bit of a project. I've set her some homework, and I've got my new little swimwear protege, and it was just awesome. And then Belle came along to have a cup of coffee with us as well. And Belle said, I'm actually having a bit of a moment here, Leigh, because this, for me, being a mum, of seeing her daughter being able to do something that she's, really interested in, we actually said she said, I'm like having a moment watching Ava talking to you, which was like you were having a moment when we were by that pool that day when we were thinking, swimwear, we should be doing water safety. What's this all around? And it was a really lovely full circle moment 10 years later. Now Ava is, my new best friend. She's got my number. She can text me all her questions. So
good stuff.
So that was great. So a nice day, because it was a public holiday here in Queensland yesterday for the ECA. So it was a nice day to spend with Ava. So
good to hear.
Yeah, there we go. So
I forgot to mention something else. We're back in school on Monday. A couple of months ago, people probably remember, I had a couple of meetings with the local MPs, and nothing. I'm going to say, unfortunately, not really much come of it. But I ended up sending X amount of emails to the local schools in the Sydney area, and one of the schools did get back to us, and the Holy Cross, and we look forward to catching up with Holy Cross on Monday.
Absolutely,
it's going to be a great chat with those kids. Yeah, it's literally just up the road from where I live. So the kids are going to take a lot away from the Live Learn Survive program that we're going to be delivering on a Monday. And
saying that, I just literally pulled out the dummy and the posters. They're in the hallway, so I don't come to the airport without them. Yeah. So no, excellent.
I should add on to that. And not unfortunately, that not much come from the MPs. There's still stuff that we're working on, but
things are a slow burn. We
and
like things to happen really fast, and they don't.
It only takes one school for a cluster of schools to kind of see how good our program is and how much kids can benefit from it.
Yes, and the week after, we're in 4 schools.
4 schools, exactly right. So,
then it's you on the plane.
Yes. So, you can do a school in Tilba with 11 students, and you can do a school in the heart of Sydney. So, that's what, exciting to be able to see these kids and hopefully they learn a thing or two in how to survive their worst day.
Absolutely. Good job, Maxie. Excellent. So, right.
Here we
Unfortunate event.
Yeah, we spoke about it just before, but just been sick the last couple of days. I usually don't get sick.
No.
It's a message to the people out there to make sure that you get your flu jab. I was on annuals when the fireys got their flu jab, the mandatory flu jab. So I missed getting the flu jab when I was at work. However, I should have taken the initiative. Sorry, I made cough and stuff.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I should have taken the initiative to go do it on my own part. But if you are umming and ahhing to get the flu jab, go get it done because
I think I had mine. I've had one. I think I had mine before I went to
the UK.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did.
It does.
Pretty sure I did.
I spoke to, I trained with Harrison on my days off, and he was quite sick a couple of weeks ago, and he had similar symptoms, and it wasn't COVID or anything, but it's definitely getting around.
Yeah, because we've got in Brisbane now. We've got at the moment on is the ECCA, which is the Royal Brisbane Show. And you've only got to have an event like that in town. Everyone goes. They say it's where the country meets the city. Everyone comes. It's absolute. And the weather and the same. Is it flu? Is it? It's If you can get in and get the jab, I think you might still get a little bit of it, but you don't get really sick.
Yeah.
So,
you're
on the mend, Maxie. That's a good thing.
I am on the mend.
That's a good thing. So,
have you got anything unfortunate?
No, I don't think I have because I had I've been away for the weekend. But
that's good.
We didn't.
There's no unfortunate event.
Didn't drop the birthday cake. Nope. Everyone arrived where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there. So the train was fabulous.
Good
so
stuff.
I reckon that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yep.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Good dad joke. We got this way.
Okay, so got one for you here, Maxie.
Yep.
I'm currently reading a book about a couple of insects who have fallen in love in an Italian city. It's a romance novel. Romance novel. Okay, what you got?
What did the digital clock say to its mother?
What did the digital clock say to its mother?
Look, Mum, no hands.
Very good, Maxie. Very good. Very good. Well, I've got one more for you then. So why couldn't the sailor play cards?
Why is that?
Because the captain was standing on the deck.
I like it.
Excellent.
Why didn't the teddy bear eat dessert?
Oh, I don't know. Why did the teddy bear eat dessert?
Didn't eat dessert.
Didn't eat dessert.
He was stuffed.
I think they were a bit better this week, Maxie.
Yeah, definitely. I put a bit of effort into fine because
Put a bit of effort. Well, you've been sick, haven't you? You've had time. You've had
after
time.
last week's effort, those jokes were not good.
You know, you've had a bit of time to sit on the couch and think, what am I going to do while I'm feeling sorry for myself? I'll find a decent dad joke.
Pretty much.
Because this is what the people need.
Yes.
They need a decent dad joke. We've got no Olympics to watch now. It's your responsibility to lift the nation and all the nations.
With dad jokes.
With dad jokes. Yes. Oh, I just bit my tongue out.
That's unfortunate.
Right. That's unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. So, what do we got now then? Job of the week. So, I trust the boys have radioed through to tell you, being as you weren't there.
Yeah. So, I had to take yesterday off, but I'm back on shift tomorrow. But I spoke to Strongy and a few of the boys this morning, and they had a big one. They had a big night. They had a police chase, car crashed into another car that pushed a car down the side of a cliff into a house that was leaking fuel, and they got called to a unit fire where people reported of jumping off balconies and so on. So it was a crazy night for the crew at 62. I haven't heard too much more, but yeah, I'm back on shift tomorrow, so I'm sure the boys had it sorted yesterday. And before that, the last couple of days I worked on the beaches, not yesterday and the day before, I've been sick, but the City to Surf, I worked on the Saturday, the day before the City to Surf, and seeing all the prep that went into to make sure that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Over 110,000 people at Bondi finishing in that finish line. It's amazing seeing bump in, bump out. It's a bit of a crazy fact here that it is the world's biggest fun run.
Really?
Which is when you think you got London Marathon, you got Boston Marathon, all these run races, but apparently they're capped. The City to Surf, to an extent, isn't capped because I remember last year was at like 80, the year before was at 70, so it seems to be going up by 10,000 each year. So I think what they do is they allocate more start times.
Right.
So it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger each year.
Right. So they stagger it, whereas so yes, I know that. So with the London Marathon, it is capped because people go into a lottery and you have to be picked out to get a bib and to be able to run it. So if they just add another hour on, it probably goes more of the day because they can take so many more runners. That's amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. But it's the biggest fun run in the world for its participants, and it was from what I see, it was a great success. I did go down to the beach after the race just to kind of grab. I forgot something at work, and the boys told me that there was a couple of cardiac arrests, but they managed to save the guy's life. There was a 35-year-old that had suffered a cardiac arrest, and
so were the boys involved in that, or the paramedics and people? Yeah,
the paramedics and the the medical staff. But they overheard that was kicking off. So crazy times.
Wow. And I think for people outside of Australia or outside of Sydney, really. So City to Surf, it finishes at Bondi, finishes at the beach. Mm-hmm. Where does it start? Obviously, I'm assuming in the city, but what is the actual?
It starts at Hyde Park. And, Hyde Park, William Street. Yeah. You run down William Street into New Southend Road, all the way up Heartbreak Hill.
Yes.
So you get to Old Southend Road, run back down to Old South, and then onto Military Road, and then down into Bondi.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty straightforward course. It's quite hilly, but it's 14 kilometres. I think the fastest guy did it this year in 37 minutes.
Whoa.
That's very fast. So credit to everyone involved, and it looked like everyone just had a really good time.
And what did the boys do it in? How did they go in there? What time?
I'm not sure exactly the time that they did, but they obviously walked it. They didn't run it because of the gear and the heat and stuff, and they did as a team.
Yeah.
But it would have taken them a couple of hours probably.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of hours. Excellent. So, City to Surf getting bigger every year.
It is.
Amazing. So, right, what do we got then next, Maxie? What's tip of the week?
Yeah, tip of the week this week, Leigh. Cross-reference our calendar. It's take a break. So I remember we did that. I remember we did this video last year. I think just before we both went away to overseas last year.
Yeah.
It's on the Live, Learn, Survive Skills for Life program. This week, the video is take a break.
Yes.
However, our Water Safety Wednesday and Fire Safety Friday this week is water and fire related.
Yep.
It's yeah.
That take a break's very appropriate, Maxie, when you need a little rest, when you've been running it a bit,
Yeah. It's been
going hard, you just need to like rest up.
It's been a big couple of weeks, but, it's like I said at the start, you're only human. But, when you got the energy like myself and you, Leigh, when you care and you're passionate and you want to do as much as you can, a million tabs are open. You can run on fumes for so long, but I think the body just needed to have a day or two to regroup and re-collaborate. And
you don't want to let people down, and you do all of that things, but then I think you just have to listen to your body sometimes and go.
But sometimes taking a break, and depends how long the breaks are, but a day or two, it's enough for you to kind of get back into good routine and get some good habits and get you thinking as well. You have more time to be able to do more things and get back to people if you got emails or text messages or stuff you need to get sorted. So
lets you have a little bit more of an element of control and things. So definitely, people, if you're feeling you need to take a break, just take a break. You don't owe it to anyone else. You owe it to yourself. Exactly exactly. So what do we got? Crazy facts, Maxie. What have you got for us today?
Yeah, I've got a couple of crazy facts this week, Leigh. Again, it's just wild facts, stuff that...
I've gone completely random this week.
Okay. So, did you know that Mount Everest grows every year?
Oh.
Due to tectonic activity, Mount Everest actually grows about 4 millimeters each year. The mountain's height was officially recalculated to be 8,848.86 meters, which is 29,031.7 feet in 2020.
So what was it, 39,000?
No, it was 29,031 feet. And that's 8,848.86 meters. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
This one's a bit of a crazy one. The Vatican City has the highest crime rate. Due to its tiny population of around 800 people and the high number of tourists, Vatican City has the highest crime rate per capita in the world. Most of these are petty crimes like pickpocketing.
I was going to say pickpocketing.
Yeah. Pickpocketing. And those pickpocketing and those dodgy games that they play, the gambling games, with the dice and the ball and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. The Sahara Desert was once green. About 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, the Sahara Desert was lush green region with lakes and vegetation thanks to a different climate pattern. The period is known as the African humid period.
Whoa. Wow. You wouldn't expect to be finding green grass in the Sahara now, would you? No.
And this one I saw the other day on a random Instagram post, but this one is just another thing that I've researched is, did you know that sharks are older than trees? Sharks have been around for over 400 million years, while the earliest known trees appeared around 350 million years ago. So 50 million years, sharks were roaming the world in the oceans before trees even existed.
Whoa. So I'm going to sound I've got a really stupid question here. My brain's going, don't say it, Dee. Don't ask it. So does that mean that were they around at the same time as dinosaurs, or is that like well long back?
So it would have been around the same period. Would have been the same period. I think dinosaurs were around then as well. Maybe. I don't know.
Insane. Did you know I found a dinosaur? Did I say I found a dinosaur footprint on the Isle of Skye in the beach, in the bedrock?
Oh, that's cool.
big footprint. Very cool. So what have I got? So I went away on the weekend. I've been on a steam train. So just north of Brisbane, we've got this little town called Gympie, and they've got a train there called the Mary Valley Rattler. And they've restored this train, and you can go on it. And it was my brother-in-law's, or is this week, my brother-in-law's 50th. So we bought him, all the family. He was riding the footplate, so he was stoking the fire, and we all got to meet the driver, and it was just all fabulous and everything. Tell you what, Maxie, some serious fire on the front of that steam train. Like seriously fire. So it made me think about like a few facts about steam trains, because they're, everybody waved at the train. As so we had this little hour's drive out, ride out, stopped at this little place, had an hour's ride back. Everyone waved at the train, and we all decided on the train, if you don't wave at trains, you must be tired of life. You've got to wave at the train. So we went on. So we were looking, and so I just thought, who invented the steam train, and who was behind all of this? So it was a gentleman called Richard Trevithick built the first steam locomotive to have hauled a load over a distance in one of our favourite places in the world, Cornwall.
There you go.
How would you do it? How would you go? And then George Stephenson, the Robert Stephenson Company, made the first steam locomotive that basically hauled passengers on a public railway. And that was the Stockton and Darlington Railway, which is up in Newcastle, in that area, I think. So I was just looking, and a couple of the most famous steam trains is the fastest is the Mallard. So that's quite a well-known steam train that reached 126 miles an hour in 1938.
Yeah.
And then the one that's everyone stops to take, particularly in the UK, is the Flying Scotsman. And it was the first steam loco to officially reach 100 miles an hour in 1934. So the 1930s was the age of where people just discovered a little bit of travel. Steam trains took them a bit further afield. Horses didn't need to be doing it all anymore. Magic era. So how good's a steam train? So cool. Yeah, just shared a bit of that. And then I got this lovely fact that, the saying in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know that, Maxie.
No.
I know that every now and again. When you're in the doghouse, means you're in trouble. So basically, in the steam era, this is where it comes through. I found this morning, prior to the mid-1930s, the loco cabs were small with room for two people. And it was the engineer, the fireman, the conductor, and the head-end brakeman and rear brakeman. All of them had a seat except for the head-end brakeman didn't have a seat. And they basically put something on the rear deck right at the back of the machine, and they called it the doghouse. So basically, the fireman couldn't go at the back because he'd got to be shoveling the thing. The head-end brakeman was in the doghouse.
In the doghouse.
Down the back. There you go. Probably could have delivered that way better, but we got there in the end.
We got there.
That's where it came from. I have no idea. There we go. So there we go. So that's all that.
Oh,
you're welcome. Right. What do we got?
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier before, but just getting some momentum with the books. Back in 2016, the idea kind of come about, and then we kind of brought it to life in 2018.
Yes.
And it's 2024 going into 2025. It's been a number of years, of these great books, and we're just giving a little bit of a lift, and it's awesome to have Paul illustrate. He obviously did the picture book. Paul Doran did the picture book, Maxie's Beach Rescue, and we kind of now bringing it all back to having the same illustrations from Paul to do the books 1, 2, and 3. And again, we spoke about books 1 and books 2. The rough drafts are done, and we're in the process of getting all that sorted and ticked off. And then, even to next year, book 3 illustrations to be done. So
and it's nice now because like mini Maxie in the picture book flows into little Maxie. The stories evolve, and it's just a really, it's a really nice way of giving the books a new lease of life. They're great little books. They're timeless, and most important, they're great stories. But the reason you and I talked about having books in the very first was the lessons that were in them.
Exactly
was like way the most important thing. So they're great timeless little books, and you never know, people that had the first edition might want the second editions. There'll be new kids around, so so very excited that we can get them back out again. So
I was going to say too, and if you are listening on Spotify or watching this on YouTube, you can find the books at livelandsurvive.com.au.
Exactly. And we ship worldwide. So I just actually replied to someone this morning that left a message on the YouTube saying that we do ship worldwide. So exactly, no problem. We've sent those books to over 30 countries, Maxie. They're all over the place.
And seeing the Olympics closing ceremony the other day. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Of 210 countries, 30 countries is awesome, but let's get to 210. So if
210.
you are listening and you think our books aren't in your country, order a set, and we'll send it to you.
Exactly.
Okay, playlist for the Spotify playlist. Again, it's growing each day, and these guests that we're getting are starting to add some cool songs to them as well. But there's 2 songs here, Leigh.
Yes, so you picked the first one. You wrote that one in. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House. It's a classic.
Love Crowded House. How good. Mm-hmm. Excellent. And then this one, I'm pretty sure. So someone's going to correct me on this. Leave a message on this on YouTube. Someone wrote a great, and I think it's a lady in America, and her name may be Tonya. Don't quote me if I've got that wrong. And she quoted a Beach Boys song, and I went to find the song to add to the playlist, and it was either Surfing Safari or Surfing USA. So I'm hoping it was Surfing USA, because then I couldn't find the comment. So
well, both are great songs. So.
We saw it, we saw the comment, we think, and we're adding it in, and we hope we got the right one. So thank you for listening, and thank you for commenting on our YouTube. It is only Maxie and I that are replying all to the comments. So if you don't get straight away comments, we do see them, and we really do appreciate all of them. So thank you. Oh, good. That's where that one came from, Maxie.
Cool. It's added to the playlist, so hope you enjoy. Rule for the rule book. Yeah, the rule for the rule book this week, Leigh, is listen before you speak. Yes, I agree with that. I think sometimes the best listeners are the ones that are most knowledgeable and can really reflect and take a lot in and sit back and just learn, Just listen, learn, don't say too much. Take it all in. Don't they say you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, and sometimes you just got to use them in that order. Yes, I like it. So, thank you for adding that. That's a really good rule. Exactly. Excellent. Well, that's a great chat, Maxie. 34 minutes. 34 minutes. Rob will be happy. And Rob will be happy running. And by the time this goes out on Friday afternoon, we'll have been down in Wollongong and caught up. So we'll have a chat next week, and we'll let everyone know how the school goes next Monday and how Wollongong went. And we hope you have a great weekend. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you all next week. Stay safe. If you're in Brisbane, stay dry, and I will see you very, very soon in a couple of days. Safe travels. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye. See ya. Bye-bye.